Well, hey guys, it's Jeff. How you guys doing? Now, today's video is going to be about me solo launching and flying the Drak for my second attempt. You guys will probably have seen my Drak maiden. So the reason why you're looking straight up at the sky is I'm carrying the airplane over to the edge of the runway, and I'm going to launch it straight up into the air in gyro mode with the Arcbird OSD. I'm going to go over some of the things that I'm using in my airplane and go over why I chose those things as we're just overlooking this flight. Now, I did this flight kind of last minute. There was a lot of wind and it was just about to rain, and luckily the wind let up just enough for me to slide in this quick little 8-minute flight. So let's get into it. Okay guys, well, first things first, you'll notice the video is it's pretty nice. It's from the RunCam 2. It didn't start out that way though. I had to do a lot of playing around with the darks and lights. You can see as I'm going down this runway, you can see everything's nice and clear, but as soon as I turn away from the light source, things get pretty dark, and I actually had to lighten up quite a bit of the dark areas. So this is one of those situations where the RunCam, although it's clear, does struggle with the lighting. So you might notice that during this video. So I am going to mention that this is my first successful solo launch of the Drak. This is my biggest fear of the Drak, is not having enough power, because I'm running 4S instead of 5S. Now, I followed Chris's video and grabbed the left side of the nose, the fuselage, with my right hand, and launched full throttle and straight up into the air, basically in basically gyro mode, which is almost like manual. But basically it just left my hands and went straight up in the air. It was fantastic. So some of my fears got quelled there. So it is a tricky launch, but once you have the technique down, I think it's just fine. So the biggest error that I made in my maiden flight, where I did crash after launch, was I launched in stabilized mode. So as soon as the airplane left my hands, it tried to level itself out with not enough airspeed, which is the reason why I went down. So one thing you're going to notice as you're watching the flight here is that I'm playing it pretty safe. I'm pretty much going in a big circle, some tighter, some larger, but I am still putting it through its paces. I am doing some acceleration runs, went up to about maybe 250 feet or so, and then brought it back down, got some speed going. So even though I'm not taking it far or taking it overly fast, I'm still trying to feel out the airplane. And as long as we're speaking about feeling out the airplane, the feel of this airplane is a little bit heavy, I must say. It is the biggest airplane, and also the heaviest airplane that I've ever flown. So it might be due to inexperience, but it has a presence in the air. It does. It flies nicely. It glides nicely as well. It's something I wasn't expecting. I guess I'm used to airplanes that are the same size yet half the weight. It's an airplane that handles differently than I ever thought that it would. My current all-up weight of this airplane is 6.6 pounds or 3,000 grams. So I've been playing around with the CG of this airplane. Now, I started out my maiden at 1.5 inches in front of the main spar, and during that maiden I actually moved it back to 1.25 inches. And one of the reasons why is the nose does tend to feel a little bit heavy with all the batteries and everything that's counterweighting your electronics and your motor. So this is something that I'm probably going to be moving back even further, maybe to about 1 inch in front of the main spar. And the reason why is that sometimes as you're climbing, the climb rate, you tend to climb a little bit more than you should. And sometimes as you're descending, or as you're making a turn, sometimes the airplane will kind of tip over on its side a little bit and carry its weight through. So I'm wondering if maybe moving my CG back to about 1 inch might actually help its flight characteristic feel a little bit more floaty in the turns, possibly. That's something I'm going to try. I'm not an expert at this, so it's something I will let you guys know in the future. Alright guys, so now I'm going to go over the setup of my airplane, and you guys might see some of the graphics that'll come up, and everything I'm going to talk about right now is going to be linked in the description below. So, okay guys, the first thing up is the motor, and it is a Cobra 3520-10, a 980 kV motor. This paired with the APC 13 by 4 inch prop gives this airplane about 3,300 grams of thrust, which is just perfect to make this a nice cruiser. It's not going to be fast, maybe top speed of about 75 miles an hour, probably with a tailwind. Okay guys, the batteries that I'm using in this flight are the GeForce Elite I got from Value Hobby. They are two 4,000 milliamp packs for 8,000 milliamp at 30C. I'm going to change this to the Multistar 10C 5200 milliamp packs, the 4S of course. I'm not running 5S as suggested. But the reason why is these batteries I'm currently using are ones that have been run down too far and have some internal resistance problems on one of the cells on both packs. So that is my battery setup. As far as my ESC is going, I'm using just a standard old Hobbyking 60 amp ESC, nothing super special or expensive. Does the job and I really like it. That brings us to the flight control system. I'm using the Arcbird OSD. The only other one I've ever used is the Storm OSD, and I tend to like the Arcbird a little bit better, and I'm only using this in the Drak here because I am comfortable with it, and I really haven't had any need for expanded functions of, say, like a Pixhawk or a Vector. So I'm also using the Dragon Link V2 transmitter and receiver. This is the only thing I ever use on long range, and it's once again confidence inspiring because you hardly ever lose RSSI on this thing. Okay, and to round out the last part of the equipment is just the VTX and Boardcam. VTX I'm using is from Bangood, a 5.8 gigahertz 600 milliwatt video transmitter. Now I am going to be changing this to a 1.3 system. I'm currently studying for my test to become a ham radio license holder, and so once I do that I will be switching over to 1.3. But as far as the Boardcam goes, I'm running a $9 Surveilzone Boardcam at the moment. I am going to be changing that to the RunCam Owl to give that a try, just for some testing purposes. Okay guys, that brings us to our last item, which is the servos. What servos did I use? I used the Hobbyking 15328D 58 gram servo. Now this is a really inexpensive servo, delivers a lot of power, and a lot of people swear by them. They're waterproof, double ball bearing, and Metal Gear digital. So enough said on that one. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining my video. If you've lasted this long, you have really stayed with me, man. So until next video, I will talk to you guys later. Thank you so much. Bye.